What I am about to tell you is the strangest experience I have ever lived through. My name is Mary, and my friend Carol and I were driving from Florida to New Jersey a few months back. We were coming back from visiting a few friends who went to school down there. It was a really fun time, but Carol and I had to get on with our lives. The drive was supposed to be a little road trip, just us two with a bunch of snacks, music, and time to catch up on all the things we hadn't talked about in ages. In hindsight, it probably would have been a better idea to stay one more night at our friend's place. But I wanted to get home. We were planning to do the whole drive in one shot. We drove through night and into the next morning a few hours after the sun came up. My back started to ache from sitting in the same position for so long. I told Carol we should pull over somewhere for a break, grab some gas, and maybe find something to eat. Before we get back on the road, we drove past a few more exits before ultimately getting off at what claimed to be a lively touristy town. For the life of me, I can remember what the actual name of the town was. It was one of those places that you'd expect to be a tourist stop, with signs pointing to attractions and promises of unique shops or local history. But even as we pulled in, I felt something was off. The stress. I felt something was off. The streets were empty and the buildings looked like they'd seen better days, a little too worn down for a place supposedly catering to visitors. It's hard to explain the feeling, but it was the kind of place where you could sense something was wrong without actually knowing what. I'm sure everyone kind of knows what I'm talking about. But you ever driven through one of those ghost towns where all the shop signs are still up, but everything is clearly abandoned? Yeah, that's what it felt like, only it was weirder since things were not actually abandoned. They just looked that way. It was not your typical haunted kind of vibe, but strange enough that it's been on my mind ever since. The first stop was the convenience store. We actually had to drive for a decent while before entering the heart of the town, or whatever you would call it. We pulled into a stretch and grabbed some refreshments. The two of us headed inside. It looked pretty normal in there. Actually, Carol was looking for a specific drink she wanted, but quickly grew frustrated when she realized they didn't have it. She is a bit of a drama queen, so I indulged her tantrum and agreed to go somewhere else. I still wanted to get my Gatorade through, so I walked up to the counter with it to pay. The cashier was a woman about 30 to 35. If I had to guess, she had dark brown hair and was on the taller side again. All very normal. The only reason I remembered her features was because she was wearing suspenders, which I was not used to seeing. I paid for my drinks and we left. Carol pointed to the another convenience store across the street, so we figured we would give it a shot. When we walked in into the second store, I literally felt my stomach drop. The cashier behind the counter looked exactly like the girl who'd been working at the first place. Same hair, same face, same height, same everything. I froze starting at her. I could tell I was making her uncomfortable. Eventually, I asked her if she had a twin or a sister or something. She gave me a weird look. Almost skeptical, said she didn't have a twin and that she was an only child. She narrowed her eyes and told me that was a strange thing to ask, which I guess it was. I tried to explain myself, but she didn't say anything. After that, I felt this weird sense of deja vu and backed out of the store, dragging Carol along with me. Carol was confused, but I explained myself, asked if she noticed the same thing. She said she didn't remember what the other cashier looked like and that I was probably just tired from driving for so long. I knew what I saw through and told her I would prove if we ran back to the first convenience store, but when we got there, the girl inside looked nothing like who I remembered seeing. She was completely different person. She was short with light hair and looked middle aged. There is absolutely no chance anyone could have confused her for the other cashier. She didn't even look like she was in the same age range. It was as if I had imagined the whole thing. Carol told me to just forget about it and that I was tired, but I insisted that I was not imagining things. Eventually, I had no choice but to let it go. I was eager to get out of there, but we needed gas. We pulled into the first gas station we saw, which was void of people. It was completely empty. Just our car, the pumps, and a small building at the back where you would pay. We were literally the only car in the entire lot. The two of us walked inside. Carol took her sweet time looking for her drink, but of course it was not there. Either I paid, waited for her, and we left. We couldn't have been in there for more than a few seconds. As we walked out, I again felt a weird feeling in my gut. What had not 2 seconds ago been completely empty gas station was now packed to the brim. The place was overflowing with people. It was the strangest thing. Cars filled every single pump and there were even some lined up. As if we would wandered into rush hour at the busiest station in the state. All the parking spots in the back lot were full too. To make matters worse, it felt like everyone was eyeing us down as we walked to our car. I don't think I have ever felt more uncomfortable by people staring at me. This time, Carol agreed that something bizarre was going on. I could tell that both of us felt the same eerie suspicion. It was like we would left reality for a second. And when we came back, something had shifted. We decided to say screw it on the food and just find our way back to the highway. I didn't have much of an appetite at that point. Anyway, back on the road, we didn't say much for a while. I was not scared, but I just had a bad feeling in my gut. I'm not sure how to even explain it. As we go slightly further away, Carol and I talked about how weird that had just been. As we were talking, a car passed us, a Toyota, with a cracked windshield. I remembered it distinctly because the windshield had this big spider web crack running through it, and the side was scratched up pretty bad. It was kind of hard to miss this. Carol made a joke about it, but I can't remember exactly what it was. Just as we were starting to loosen up, everything came crashing down again about 10 minutes later. The exact same minivan passed us. Again, we were both 100% sure of it. Again, it was impossible to miss with this massive crack in the windshield. How was that even possible through we had been driving in a straight line at a pretty fast clip? There is no way it could have gotten ahead of us. But the odds of passing two different Sennas with identical cracks in the windshield were insanely slim. Carol started saying, "Oh my god," over and over again, and I could tell she was on the verge of a panic attack. She told me to speed up, which I did. I was dying inside, but I had to keep it together. I wanted nothing more than to get back as
on
the
the
driver
highway
and for
and
Carol
leave
leave that place behind forever. I glanced down at the GPS and saw that an hour had somehow passed since we had left the gas station, which was virtually impossible. I wanted to tell Carol about it, but I didn't know if she could take any more weird stuff. My heart was in my throat, but I just kept driving. Part of me wondered if the GPS was going to start taking us in circles. We finally got back on the highway, and the nightmare ended there. By the time we got home, however, many hours later, it felt like we were waking up from some strange, disjointed dream. I'm not kidding. That whole experience still feels like a dream. When I think back to it, people usually look at me strangely when I tell them this story. I still can't explain what happened there, and I don't expect any kind of explanation. I have tried doing research online about weird occurrences in places like that, and I have actually found a handful of stories that are similar to mine. The weirdest thing about it was the feeling in my gut that I still have trouble describing. Until that point, I really didn't know what it meant to get a bad vibe from something. It's like every bone in your body is begging you to notice that something is wrong. I never want to get that feeling again. Viewers, if you like this story and want more stories like this, subscribe to my channel.